Hey guys, so you get to see a little bit of my messy house, which I hate doing, but there's bunches of reasons why I'm downstairs right now. And also, I'm going to be ditzy for a sec while I post this to Facebook so people can log in and say hi. So give me just a sec, because when I do more than one thing at a time, my poor little Chromebook sort of bogs down. uh, Sorry, it moves really slow. All right. There we go. I think we got it. So just so you know, my timing and stuff over the next few weeks might be a little odd. My grandson is here because his daycare, they asked any parents who could to pull their kids out of daycare so they could offer the spots to first responders kids. And I mean, we kind of addressed it. We have immunocompromised people in the house, and it's an added vector. But I mean, how do you say no to your grandkid? And besides which, the alternative was to leave him in a daycare full of us snotty other kids, and so yeah. So he's here, but he's down for nap right now, and hopefully we'll stay there for a little bit. I plan on logging in for a little bit most days, maybe. I don't know. And doing something like this around 1:30, because that's when he goes down for his nap. So if all goes well, you'll see more of me, actually. So everybody's in a bit of a panic right now. There's a lot of teachers right now that are scrambling to figure out how the hell they switch from classroom teaching to online teaching, while teachers for older kids have it easier. Consider what happens when it's little ones who aren't reading yet or aren't reading reliably. You can't really expect a first grader to log in and follow instructions on their own on the internet. That's like a fourth or fifth grade skill. It's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible. And we just need to trust in our teachers and give them a little bit of time. They will figure it out. As you know, as many of you know, our kids do VLAX, which is the New Hampshire online school. And so they go to school from home all the time. So there's really not a lot of change for us. The big one is that my sister will be teaching from home rather than teaching from the school. And you know what? That's okay. I'm actually kind of happy about that. She's really stressed right now, and I don't blame her. She teaches little ones, and she's doing a lot of like, how the heck do we do this? But once she gets her groove, she's going to be awesome. And I think it'll be really good for her. She had knee surgery over Christmas, and it's taken, it's hard to get back to work from that. You end up in a lot of pain, and I think it'll be really good that she's home and not running around after little kids all the time. So we'll see what happens. But I just, like I said, for us, being at home during the day really isn't a big deal. We live and work in our community, and I work from home, and the rest of the family works from home, the kids school from home. This isn't a huge change for us. It's stressful just because everything is stressful with this, because we don't know what's going on, and we're nervous and stuff, and that's understandable, but it's not a huge change. This is life as we've always known it, we change the time we go grocery shopping, but like, that's it. I cannot imagine what it must be like if you're out there at a job where you can't work from home, or you don't know what to do with your kids, or you have little kids. Older kids, sure. I mean, grade 6 and on, if they can stay home for the afternoon and you can check on them via Skype or whatever, and you're fine. But what about people with little kids? What do? You hope to have somebody like us in your life that you can drop the kids off to, because it's like your only option. It's scary stuff, but it's not a panic thing, and I don't want people to panic. I actually saw Funny go through, you've probably seen the memes go around that say, extroverts, check in on your introverts, they're not okay. But right now it's the other way around. Introverts, please check on your extroverts, because they're not okay, because they're at home. And that's really very much a true thing. For me, being stuck at home is kind of my daily life. And so even if I kind of chomp at the bit sometimes, I know how to deal with it, and it doesn't cause me undue stress. For somebody who's used to being out every single day, out doing their job, or out with, doing social things or volunteering or whatever, if you're a dedicated extrovert, this is going to be really hard. Social distancing is not easy for people who are used to being out there and talking to the public all the time. But it's that important. I've said several times, my goal is to preach the whole social distancing hard enough that nobody gets sick and nobody dies, and 4 months from now you're all mocking me and making fun of me. I will take that hit for the team. I really will. I would so like to be wrong. I will eat my crow and make a medieval recipe out of it if it comes to that. I would love to do that, because I would love to be wrong about this. I wanted to talk about some of the positive things that I've seen in the last little while. We're not particularly good sometimes at taking care of our planet. We have kind of made a mess of parts of it, some parts worse than others. I don't always agree with the whole the earth is going to die if we don't, stop doing everything and cooking our food immediately. Far leftist propaganda stuff. But on the other hand, I also know that there's an awful lot of plastic in the ocean, and there's a lot of problems out there that we could be working on, and I don't see people working on some of them, and I wish that we would. Well, one of the things that I've heard is that a lot of the damage that we've done is irreparable. And so I'm going to say that people in China saw blue sky for the first time in decades just a couple of weeks ago. That's how short a time it took for things to start to fix. A couple of months. And that's in, admittedly, the most polluted area of the world. In Venice, somebody did a video. I saw it on Facebook earlier today. They took a video of the Venice waterways, and the water is so clear you can see the bottom. Now, I was doing research a few months ago for a story that takes place in Venice, and I had watched a bunch of videos, and I can tell you that a month ago, you could not see the bottom of the Venice canals. It was so filthy and so horrible, you would not have wanted to put anything in there. And today, I saw a video feed where you could see the bottom and you could see the little fishies swimming in it. That's in a couple of weeks. Maybe what we need to do is look at the changes that are happening because of what we're doing and decide going forward how we got there and how big a difference it made. Maybe the answer is that the world needs to take a 2-week vacation every year and shut everything off, and that fixes things. Wouldn't that be amazing? I don't know if that's true, but let's look at what's happening around us. Let's look at the good things. I certainly know that there's been a lot of deer activity out and back of my house, which is nice. It was great to be working in the office the other day and look out the back, and there was a buck and 5 does just hanging, munching on the new green things. One of the things that I have not stressed, but I'm concerned about is that the upcoming Ren Fair season is going to be disrupted. And I'm, as much as I don't want that to be the truth, I'm kind of stepping into things right now with the assumption that that's going to be the case, and that at least the beginning Ren Fairs aren't going to happen. I'm prepared to go, but I mean, like, I can do that on a moment's notice anyway, because, you know, like, I sometimes hang out in medieval clothes just for the hell of it anyway. But it impacts a lot of people financially, but it's also kind of like, that's where I get my my mental recharge, is hanging with my Ren Fair peeps, and that might not happen this year. It's for good reason, and I understand that, and I certainly don't resent it, but I'm a little bit stressed about that. So I think what I'm going to do is, as I go forward, if it looks like that's the case and we start seeing cancellations of our local fairs here going into May, that I'm going to ramp up my garden, and I'm actually going to do a series of videos in my garb, because if I can't go to Ren Fairs, I'll bring the Ren Fairs to me. Hell with it. And just talk about medieval skills, medieval gardening, the kind of gardens and herb gardens and things that they would have grown back then. Talk about baking bread, talk about cooking over a fire. I have our household's fire pit here, the big ass one. There's no reason that I can't fire that sucker up and cook out on the front lawn. It'll keep it from getting hot in the house, and I'll get a cool video out of it. I'm trying very hard to focus on the positive things that are going to come out of this. And even though it's hard, it's not impossible. If you're having a hard time seeing the positive things, please reach out. This is not a time to isolate yourself verbally. I know that we can't be close to each other on a physical level right now. I think that's one of the most important things, is that we do that social distancing thing. But my inbox is always open. Drop me an email, seriously, or chat with me on GChat, or find me on Facebook. I'll talk to anybody. I can maintain 4 or 5 conversations at a go. Honest, guys, like, I can talk. You haven't figured that out yet, from the weekly videos. I would love to hear from you. And if you're hurting or scared, or you just need somebody to talk to feel like you're a human being again, please reach out, okay? Don't let it go until you're in a really bad place. That's not the right way to deal with it, okay? There are some of us out here who are relatively good at this talking thing. And like I said, I'm going to try and open up my Google Meet, where people can come together and talk with each other. And it's not just me chit-chatting like this and you have to listen, but it allows for actual interaction. And I can see if I can get that going. I might do it from my phone, because then I can carry it around if I have to go deal with the grandson or do the dishes or whatever. And I don't care. You guys can see my kitchen. It's a mess. Heck with it. I'm going to try and keep things on the up and up. And I'm going to ask you to do it too. I want you to see what's coming in and hitting me in the face here is the sun. Okay. Yeah, it's a little cold out there today, but you know what? It's sunny. Go out and get some vitamin D. We're New Englanders. We're deficient in vitamin D just by virtue of living where we do. And vitamin D is what helps your brain create the happy chemicals. So even if you just go outside and go for a walk around the block, or walk down to get the mail, or whatever, go do it. Go stand outside for 10 minutes. Let the sun hit your skin. Walking out the door, you might feel resentful and angry, but if you give it a couple of minutes, I think that you'll find that it puts a little color in your cheeks, and that's really important. So remember to physically isolate, but don't mentally isolate. I love you guys, and as I work on my cookbook and you guys work on your projects, let's share and talk with one another, and keep reaching out, because I think that the online community is what will keep people from feeling like they're alone. And I don't want anybody to feel like they're alone. There's no reason for it. Okay. 30 years ago, we wouldn't have had any of these things to talk to each other and stay and connect. We would have been really alone, and we're not. We can reach out. So please do. I love you guys, and I'm going to let you go, but I'll try and check in either by Google Meet or whatever sometime tomorrow. I love you, and don't forget to subscribe, okay? Bye.